All right now. How you doing out there? YouTube world, internet world. I never thought I'd do this, but I just want to let you guys know that I decided to share my experiences from this day forward. I have, and if those of you who already know what this patch is on my chest, I have end renal disease, kidney failure. It happened 3 months ago. I was watching some videos online and decided that I would like to document what I'm going through. So basically, what I have is these things here. These are called catheters, ventricle and aortal catheters placed into my chest that get connected to a dialysis machine. Dialysis machine actually is taking the place of my kidneys. And it's hard to know or to think about how you walked into the hospital feeling a little ill, just a little ill, and you walk out feeling disabled. It's a very hard process. It's a very hard and long thought process. So, the reason why I am doing this is because if anything does happen to me, at least I have a record of who I am. I left my mark on the world, the internet world, and maybe my kids can see this one day. But basically, I decided to, like I said, ooh, excuse me, hiccups. Drawback of dialysis. I decided to document my kidney journey. Maybe I should have started from the hospital. But the first thing I want to say is to anybody who's afraid of the doctor, don't be. Because when you finally do see that doctor, especially if you don't go, it's bad. At least it was bad for me. I was afraid of doctors because I didn't like needles. And now needles are a part of my life. I probably, since I finished my inoculations or my vaccinations, that's how old I am. They were called inoculations when I was younger. Um, Once I finished those sets of injections and needles, I probably only had one TB shot or TB test, I should say, not a shot. You see, that's how afraid of needles I was. Everything that dealt with a needle was a shot. But I had one TB test, which was, if you guys remember or old enough, was the orange cap with the four little pricks in it, and two HIV tests, just to make sure I was clean. Not being, freakish out there or anything like that, but just to make sure I'm clean. All of that took a span of 30 some odd years. And I made sure, at least I thought I made sure, I put myself in a position where I wouldn't need to have to see the doctor. So my story begins with I had diagnosed blood pressure, high blood pressure. My blood pressure was very high. Every time I took my blood pressure, it was high from my teen years. And with this high blood pressure, it was so consistently high that I just thought my normal blood pressure was high. Well, after getting sick from kidney failure, which the blood pressure did something to damage my veins or arteries running to my kidneys, caused kidney failure, and subsequently my heart is slightly enlarged. However, on my echocardiograms and whatever the other cardiovascular tests they do to you, my heart is functioning normally. It's just slightly enlarged. However, my kidneys didn't fare so well. Um, I got sick. I was throwing up when there was nothing to throw up. There was, now that I think about it, maybe a day or two before I went to the hospital, I believe I smelled urine or ammonia in my nose. Like deep back in my nose, when I would inhale, I would smell a strong odor of ammonia. So, anyway, I walk into the hospital when I should have been ambulated in. That's what I was told by the doctor. A 3% kidney rate of function. So basically, 90% of my kidney function no longer existed. Being that I was able to walk into the ER, my doctor believes this is something that's been probably going on for months, possibly years. At 3% kidney function, I was told I should have been knocked out somewhere in the street and EMS coming to pick me up. And hopefully I would have made it to the hospital. So, at her guess, my doctor, this was something that was happening very slowly for a very long time. No way it could have been an acute failure because I should have, like I said, fell out on the street or driving, God forbid, you know. So, anyway, now because of my fear of needles, right, I have to go to dialysis center 3 times a day. Excuse me, 3 times a week, 4 hours a day. And in the midst of all of this, prior to this, with my blood being so toxic, I didn't do the right thing by my family, hurt my wife, lost my kids. Well, I really didn't lose my kids, but my family is going away now. So before you get sick and do something detrimental to your life, which especially if you have a family, it's not just your life. You can lose everything. And I basically have lost everything. So I guess this is why I want to do this journal and document my life. I'm gonna try to do it weekly. Right now, this is the beginning, so I'm gonna start to try to do it weekly. But as the weeks go on and the months go on, it will be weekly updates. So if you don't want to walk into the hospital, what you think is a sane person, go to your doctor. Especially if you work and you pay for your insurance, don't let that go to waste. Go to your doctor. This goes for everybody that's afraid of your doctor. And I'm not being judgmental or racist, but men of color, go to your doctor. You don't want to end up how I feel. I feel pretty good. now. Now that I've dealt with it, you know, but I have other things that's going on. Not medically, but I do have another surgery. So think about this. I said about 30 years or so, I haven't gone to the doctor. In 3 months, I wound up going to the doctor, ending up in ICU for about a week and a half. Total hospital stay was a week and a half. I was probably in ICU for about 5 to 6 days and 3 days in the regular nurses unit. Um, so I went through that. Two IVs, one in each arm, MRI. That's stuff they just do at the hospital and make sure they don't miss anything. Um, 9 labs. No, the day they discharged me, I didn't get a lab. So 8 labs, two flu shots. Then this while I was in the hospital, right? And I gotta tell you, the needle doesn't hurt. The fear of the needle hurts way more than the needle. If you could let them put a tourniquet on your arm, or if you've been pinched really bad, needle doesn't feel like anything. Now, oh, excuse me. Now, to continue, um, I'm doing outpatient dialysis. Like I said, 3 times a day, three times a week, 4 hours a day. And at the dialysis unit, I received a Hep B shot, vaccination part one. A month later, part two. I think it's been about a month since then that I had to do my third and final. Um, TB shot, RNA, which does something for my blood. I think I had about 4 of those. I lost count. That's how many needles or injections I've had within the last 3 months because I was afraid to go to the doctor and get my lab work done once every 6 months, once a year if you're healthy. Go figure. Oh, and I'm on about 5 different meds uh, to control my uncontrollable blood pressure, which is probably have to do a lot with my brain. Not chemically, but my thought process. So I'm gonna be working through all of that and get my cardio back up to what it should be. So I am going in for I'm sorry. In another 2 weeks, I'm going for another operation. Believe that? I had to do my blood work for my pre-op. Then when I go for the op, I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm not pretty sure. I know I'm gonna have to get my IV, and I hope everything else can go through the IV lines. There are certain things they don't do through your IV line. Why did they give it to you? I don't know, but you get poked more than that one time. So if you've been keeping count, that's a lot of times I've been poked because I didn't want to get poked with my needles. Um, anyway, the surgery I'm going for is called PD or peritoneal dialysis, whereas I don't have to go to the dialysis center 3 times a week, 4 hours a day. You know, I want to start working again. I got to get back up on my feet. And once I do this, it's on. If I don't actually secure the job that I know I am worth, I'm going to take my old ass back to school. I started school, but then the hurricane hit, and then I got sick. So, go figure. Whoop-de-doo, 2017. Anyway, I'm gonna keep you guys updated through everything till I get a transplant and after the transplant. That is if I am gonna get a transplant. Either way, I'm going. I'm out of here. Speak to you guys later.